All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. I hope y'all are doing great. Hope y'all are having a great weekend, getting y'all games in, um, playing games, or if not playing games, then just enjoying the weekend, chilling, relaxing. For the people who gotta work, I'm sorry. I hope y'all are getting in time or at least breaks where y'all can. So, new position in my room. I got a new desk. I built up this L-shaped desk that I got and I put it in a different, like, adjacent to the corner that I had before. So the camera angle is a little bit different, but I like this better. So I got the lighting, I got the window in front of me so I can see who's coming through. The lighting is pretty good. I do need to get some lights when it gets darker outside, but yeah, I like it so far. So I had like a little project that I was working on Friday night. I had to get a new desk. I bought an L-shaped desk, a standing desk. Built that. I got two new monitors. What are they? LG Ultra Gear. Mate, these monitors fire. Way better than the ones I had before. These are now 1440p, so this is the standard now. So we are done with 1080. We are now working on 1440p. So I can fully go above and beyond HD for real. And I did stream last night on Twitch. I can definitely see the difference in quality and resolution. I don't know if what y'all are seeing is brighter on one monitor compared to what I'm seeing. Cause like I go on Twitch or like I'm streaming and it's looking darker. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's like the streaming, what I'm using for the Elgato. I don't know. I don't know if that's with Twitch. I need to play around with the settings on that one, but as so far I've had no stuttering, no frame drops, nothing like that. So I think my next project that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be getting a Secret Labs chair. The chair I got is cool. It's a Spider-Man Miles Morales chair. But I am gonna be getting a Secret Labs. I don't know which Secret Labs chair I want because it's a whole lot. Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. We'll see. Batman, Spider-Man. We'll see. And I do plan on getting another PC. So the PC that I got right now, I've had it ever since. It has gave me no problems, but I think it's about time for an upgrade. I've had this PC for about close to 4 years, and yeah, I think it's about time for an upgrade. So we got the desk, we got the monitors, we got the PS5, we got the PC, but we're gonna upgrade the PC and upgrade the chair later down the line, probably like at the end of the year. That's gonna be like a birthday slash Christmas present to myself. What else has been going on? Ghost of Yote. I am a little bit more than halfway done with this. Well, more than halfway done with this game. If y'all have not seen the stream, go watch that. But if y'all miss it, it will be uploaded on the second channel. So last stream, I don't want to spoil nothing for y'all, but we had to run it back with the Oni again. I got some more upgrades. Yeah, we still can't fight Takeza or Takaza, whatever his name is. We still not ready for him yet, but yeah, we've been progressing a lot through that game. I do know that Dispatch is coming through on the 22nd, so I will be playing that. That's a game that I am looking forward to. I think that's honestly the last big game, like new game that I want to play. So after I beat Ghost of Yote, after I beat Dispatch, I think I'm gonna get on Final Fantasy Rebirth. That's a game that I've kind of been on the back burner. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake last year. and I think I'm gonna do that for this holiday season when it comes near. So that is the plans for the next game. As always, everything will be uploaded into the second channel, so go sub to that if y'all are not. That's what I do on my gaming shorts, my TikTok, Instagram reels. But as for my main channel, this is what I do. So last week I wanted to save up everything that's been going on. So I got quite a few things to talk about as far as news. Game devs might be potentially dropping something. The state of Xbox. Let me pull up my notes. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Okay, so Sucker Punch, they got potential news of this. We got Ghost of Yote, since it did so well. They're trying to figure out what is the next game for them going to be, because they have been dropping banger after banger heat ever since. Potential Assassin's Creed game. Now, they did talk about how they may have, or they thought about dropping a Assassin's Creed game in a specific time period, but with the climate that's going on right now, they wasn't too sure, so they just kind of scrapped it. But I'll get more into that. Quantic Dream. I don't know if this is going to be good for them, depending on what this game is about. But they have completely strayed away from what they have brought to the table. Microsoft. It seems like every week I've been talking about Microsoft. So this Xbox, this raising the prices, like, what is the state that we are in for Xbox? Dead Space. We may be getting a Dead Space 4. But that's just only rumors. Rest in peace to Tomonobu Itagaki. That is the creative director, creator behind Ninja Gaiden and behind Dead or Alive. So I am a big fan of fighting games. I am a big fan of hack and slash games, but those two games I wasn't familiar with, but I'll get more into that a little bit more. And last but not least, Sleeping Dogs. Now, Simu Liu, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Simu Liu, he is the actor from Shang-Chi, Marvel's Shang-Chi in this, what was it, 10 Rings? He said, hey, this Sleeping Dogs, we're a big fan of it. It's been getting traction. How about I just do a script? I will buy the rights to Sleeping Dogs, and I'm gonna make it into a movie. That's what we want. So positive news about that as well. So that's other than that, that's pretty much everything that's been going on so far. So yeah, go sub, go follow Twitch, second channel, TikTok, all of that stuff is going to be in my profile. And yeah, we are going to be talking about some good stuff today. Xbox, not so sure, but all right, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, Sucker Punch. Now, I love Sucker Punch. Now, excuse the ads. I do not like ads. So I love Sucker Punch. Back then on the PS2 days, this was my big three. And y'all can probably agree with this too. Sly Cooper was Sucker Punch. Insomniac, Ratchet and Clank, Naughty Dog, Jak and Daxter. Now, me personally, I was more of a, oh man, I was more leaning more on the Ratchet and Clank side because I love Insomniac. And it's crazy because all those three companies or all those three dev teams are still with us today. And they are still making great games. So they have come through back way back when in the early 2000s, all the way up until now. Generations of consoles, and they still with us. So shout out to all of them. But yeah, I lean more towards the Ratchet and Clank side, but I played all of them though. I played Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, 3, all the other ones after the big trilogy. I played Sly Cooper, um, Honor Among what was it? Honor Among Thieves, or Sly 2. Um, Sly 3 only played a little bit of. Jack and Daxter, Precursor Legacy, Jack 2, and Jack 3. I did not play Jack X. I know they had like a 20th anniversary or something like that. But we are talking about Sly Cooper or a potential Sly Cooper game. So I'm gonna read this article and I'm gonna give my thoughts on what this could be, or we could be getting a Sly Cooper game, or we could be getting another Infamous game. Now I'm a big Infamous game. I love Infamous. I love the traversal on that. I love the electric powers. I love the routes you could take. You could either be a bad guy or a good guy. If you be a bad guy, you get the red lightning. You be a hero, you get the blue. But those powers that you would have, the destruction. And back then it was Prototype or Infamous. It was either one of those two, but I was on the Infamous side. All right, so let's read this article and I'll give my thoughts. So, while most PlayStation fans are undoubtedly excited that Ghost of Yotei is out, giving players one more first-party exclusive to add to their libraries, there are some fans who are disappointed that Sucker Punch's latest title is not a return to Sly Cooper or Infamous, two franchises that haven't seen in well over a decade. That said, now that Yotei is out, can Sly Cooper be next for Sucker Punch? We'll let co-founder Brian Fleming explain the delicate situation. Never say never when it comes to Sly. In a massive interview, Fleming discussed Sucker Punch's process when it comes to developing games, one that's only grown in time as the title themselves have become more detailed. While the studio is committed to releasing the Legends multiplayer experience, there's no word on what it'll work on next. The truth is that whatever we do next, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to Sly, the decision is really more limited by, again, our cherishing of focus and time to iterate, which means that we really can only do one thing at a time. If we were good at juggling 4 projects, yeah, we'd have a remaster. And let's go do one of those. And do some fan requests. That would be really popular. The studio is committed to remaining small, so that impacts things. It also faced with the same reality that other studios are in, that whatever game you commit to is one that will stay with you for the next 5 years or so. I mean, that is choosing your college and your major every 5 years. It's not a definitive yes, but it certainly is a lot more positive than the one Nate Fox shared when he said that only 10% of Sucker Punch employees would be stoked to be working on a new Sly Cooper. A statement that seemingly threw cold water on the prospect of the studio ever returning to the franchise. Here's hoping Sly gets that second chance. Bet. So I'm down. I'm down with it. And like dude just said, never say never. We've seen remakes, we've seen remasters come out of nowhere. We've seen what was that game that came out earlier? It was Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That just shadow dropped out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting that to drop, but that game did a number of sales. I believe if they drop something like Infamous, that's going to do really well. If they drop something like Slide, that's going to do really well. I know back then there was a Sly 4. I don't know if Sucker Punch had a hand in that. I think that was kind of its own thing at the time. That game was not it. I completely scrapped that from my memory. I'm not trying to even go back about, I'm not trying to do that. So Sly 1, 2, 3, everybody loved. I think Sly 2 was arguably the best one out of the whole trilogy. Sly 3 and then Sly 1. But when it comes to the Sly Cooper games, that's where the story, they did the story so well. And I will give it that. Out of between Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, and Sly Cooper had the best story writing out of all of them. And when Sly 2 came on the scene, that was a wrap. So I hope that they decide on either Sly Cooper or Infamous. Either one, I'm still good either way. Realistically, I do want a Sly Cooper game, but I could see them doing an Infamous game. Did y'all imagine an Infamous game on these next gen consoles? The graphic, the destruction, and a lot of people say that. I know Infamous Second Son got like mixed reviews or whatever. I like Infamous Second Son. Now it wasn't better than 1 and 2, and I even played that, and I played the DLC with that one girl, Infamous Second Son Light DLC, whatever. That was good too, but I need them to bring that back. If they were to bring either Sly Cooper or Infamous back, I would personally want Infamous. I need Infamous. I need Cole to pop up on these next gen consoles, and I need destruction. And with these updated graphics, with this updated games, with the systems, like we need that. So never say never. Don't lose hope, even when they're like, oh, okay, like we can only work on one game, like only 10% of staff is only thinking about making a Sly Cooper remake. Like, don't lose hope. That 99.99% saying no, y'all still got that 0.1%. So, like I said, we've seen games that we wasn't even thinking of to get remakes or remasters. So we'll see. But I am all for it. I love when they do remakes and remasters. I think I think it was last year or the year before that we are in the state of remakes and remasters. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want it like oversaturated, of course. But yes, we are in the remakes and remasters of older games coming onto the new consoles. And I love it. I ain't got no problem with it. So Ghost of Yote did really well. The sales are amazing right now, and the game is still growing. A lot of people are. That game is still trending. We are. I think that game came out October 2nd. That game is still trending. Like I said, I'm still playing it. I'm more than halfway done, and I put in close to 40 hours. And I'm debating whether I really want to go platinum with it. So we'll see. But hey, shout out to Sucker Punch. They know what they are doing. We've had Sly Cooper, we've had Infamous, we've had Ghost of Tsushima and Yote. All of these games, they haven't had a really, really bad game like on their track record. And that's one of the companies I can really trust. Insomniac, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Rockstar, Santa Monica Studios. Like, they good. They got it. So let me know what y'all think. Do y'all want a new Sly Cooper game? Do y'all want an Infamous game? Or do y'all want Sucker Punch to come out with a new IP altogether when the PS6 drops? So, y'all let me know in the comments. All right, what we got? What we got? What else? What else? What else? Okay. Okay. I was thinking about talking about this. I'm only going to touch on it just a little bit, because with all the political religious stuff out there, that's not my channel, that's not what I do. I only talk about games. But it seems to me that with this crazy climate so far, gaming devs are reluctant to come out with games, and nowadays it's very sensitive what you put out now. So they really got to be careful. In general, people just got to be careful of what they say and what they do, because but then yeah, so anyway, canceled Civil War Assassin's Creed game was a powder keg waiting to explode. Now, I am an Assassin's Creed game fan. I love Assassin's Creed. I know that I had a love and hate relationship with Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed Shadows. I did play Assassin's Creed Shadows earlier this year. I actually really love that game. That was probably one of the biggest surprises for me on how well that game actually did. I love the story. I love Naoe. I love Yasuke. But even with that game should have been out like last year. But with it was a lot of controversy behind certain characters and certain cultures and representation of things. So Ubisoft really had to tread lightly with certain things and how they wanted to do stuff with that game. It's set in Japan. You got a black character. That's an actual real character. So you really gotta kind of, I don't know. It was a lot of controversy behind that. Now, we've had real characters in previous Assassin's Creed games from history. So I don't get why that was such a big thing. And nowadays it's like people's views are starting to come on to what people want to see in the game. We already getting I'm trying to find the word. People are already saying how what they feel about female characters. But then again, we've had female characters ever since. And now it's all of a now it's just a problem. So I don't get it. I don't get it. So we're gonna read a little bit of this and go into it. So Ubisoft was reportedly working on a game set after the Civil War era, but canceled it due to politics and protagonist backlash. That sounds familiar. Alright, so Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed series is staged around noteworthy historical time periods, which typically means the series looks beyond American shores. We've had Assassin's Creed games literally all around the world. What's so different about this? Let's read more. The United States is less than 300 years old, and that doesn't give us a ton of material to work with. Reportedly, though, Ubisoft wanted to tap into that well once more. So we've had an Assassin's Creed game in the US, but we're talking about early US. We're talking about like American Revolution with the French, with the red coats, with the Indians. All that took place around Assassin's Creed 3. I think that was the one. Now, y'all let me know, correct me if I'm wrong, did that game have any type of controversy with the character or any type of political controversy going on at that time? Recent reporting suggests that the French publisher was working on a game that would touch on the Civil War and the Reconstruction era from the 1860s and the 1870s. only to cancel the endeavor due to politics. For some, it's a disappointing, if not spineless move on Ubisoft's part. I don't entirely blame the company, though. Interesting. As fans know, a handful of existing Assassin's Creed games are set in America and tackle fraught historical time periods. Assassin's Creed 3 okay, I was right. Assassin's Creed 3 takes place during the American Revolution and spin-off Liberation unfolded in New Orleans around the end of the French and Indian War. GameFile Stefan Totillo reports that the now canceled Assassin's Creed game would have starred a formerly enslaved black man as an attempt to start a new life. Somehow he'd get roped into joining the Assassins and take on the KKK. The devs working on it were enthusiastic about it and hoped that the game could show how racial tensions are used to control populations. But according to multiple sources who spoke to GameFile, Ubisoft was uncomfortable with the backlash surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows' Black Samurai protagonist and concerned that the current political climate in America was too fraught. Currently, the U.S. government seems intent on waging war on individual states based on the political allegiance of its respective local leaders, which also makes the topic of secession relevant right now. As ICE spreads its influence through force, racial tensions are at the forefront of public consciousness. Arguably, there's no better time for a game to explore a post-Civil War era. Despite Ubisoft's continual assertion that it does not make political games, Assassin's Creed has already tackled sensitive periods. Liberation, for example, has a black woman protagonist who explores racial tensions through missions like the ones, where was I? Through missions like the ones where players help slaves reach freedom. Storytelling attempts in Liberation weren't always sophisticated, but to Ubisoft's credit, most AAA publishers wouldn't touch similar topics with a 10-foot pole. Interesting. So like I said, we've had games like this before. Even with Assassin's Creed 4, when we were the pirates, like we were at the Caribbean islands, they had slaves working on those plantations. And we had missions to free them. The DLC, I forgot dude's name. We've had black characters before, even with Mafia 3. That game was set in the 60s, and they were saying the N-word left and right. And we had to go against the KKK on well, we didn't have to, but they was around. Red Dead Redemption 2, there was KKK there. That game was set in like the late 80s to early 90s. So it's a lot of stuff going on in this world right now. Like I said, I don't really talk about the political side of things, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about religion. I only talk about games on this channel. And I know what the world is crazy right now. Whether I don't care what position that you take, we don't talk about none of that here. But so I'm just saying we've had games like this before that tackles situations and topics like this. So it's like, in my opinion, y'all can just put it out there. Like we've gotten games like this. It's not like this is new. This ain't new. So that would be tough to be a formerly enslaved black man as attempts to start a new life and to get into the Assassin's Creed. That's hard, especially in that time period, because the Creed is all around, like in the article. Assassin's Creed has been taking place all around the world. Egypt, European countries, Asian countries now. We just had one in Japan recently. They've already had one in the US. They could possibly do one in South America. Have we got one in South America? I don't know. Somebody let me know. All I'm saying is this has already been done. Ubisoft just needs to continue working on this and kind of bite the bullet, because this game, it will sell. This game will sell. With the way that story was, like that's tough. And back then, we know who was on the wrong side of history. Let's keep it real. Um, so I'm all for it, but they canceled it. Now there's many different time periods that they can go from other than this one. There's many different places that they can take this game. Um, like I said, South America, like we might can have a Hispanic um protagonist or Mexican descent or of Cuban descent or of from Brazil. Like Brazil would be dope. Brazil would be super dope. But yeah. I get it. But then again, it's like y'all have done this before, so I think what happened in reading the article again, with all the backlash and all the controversy behind Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think they was like, oh man, we don't want to go through that again. We just want to make a game. Um we don't want to dive into the political side of things like that. But on the other hand, y'all have done that before. So with history, y'all take different points of history, y'all take historical figures and put them in y'all games. So it's like y'all might as well just drop this. It's not gonna make any difference. So, but if they did drop something like this, I'm all for it because you already know I'm gonna be playing it. I loved Assassin's Creed Shadows. I like how well they did that game. And if this was set in this Civil War era time period, then that would be dope too. But they can always go somewhere else with it. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. I'm on the fence with this. But if they want to be on the safe side, cool. I know who's not on the safe side though. Rockstar. Rockstar will push boundaries. They will cross lines. It ain't they will potentially have lawsuits, but that game is so well known, so of Grand Theft Auto I'm talking, or of anything of what they've had. They will push boundaries. So they ain't afraid to bite that bullet. Ubisoft on the other hand, it's like we ain't got the money like that. So we can't go through what we went through with Shadows with our next game. So you also got to look at it as a business side too. But with everything that's going on now, with this whole buyout, with everything with the political stuff, like if they even see something like political, they will. If they even sense that, they was like, yeah, this is not good. What can we do to terminate this? So I get it. I get it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Would y'all love or would y'all like a Civil War Assassin's Creed era game? Would y'all like this time period, or would y'all want something else? Like, would y'all rather have it set in a different location? Would y'all rather have it set in um like Russia or I'm trying to think of any other like South American countries for sure. Um yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff. Like they did one in Egypt, they did one in the Middle East. So like it's stuff all around the world. But let me know what y'all think. All right, next topic. What's the next topic? Let me get some water. When you start to talk a lot, your mouth starts to get dry. Okay. Xbox. Microsoft. Y'all have been the talk of the town lately, this past month and a half. Y'all recently came out with an Xbox handheld. Y'all have been raising the prices on Xbox Game Pass. Y'all have been raising the prices on Xbox consoles. Now, granted, Microsoft as a company as a whole, they're doing good. Like Xbox is not hurting them. Like they are good. They got Windows, they got other types of tech that they own. This is not hurting. This is like a small dent. It's not hurting them. But for gamers, this is not good. So I'm gonna read this on what the state of Xbox is right now. I know that Xbox, like I said, they recently came out with an Xbox PC handheld. Actually, let's do this in real time. How much is this? I don't even know what the price of this is. ROG Ally. This ROG Xbox Ally is $1,000. I didn't know that. I thought this was going to be like a six, which the Asus ROG Xbox Ally is 600, but if you want the best of the best, 24 gigabyte with 1 terabyte SSD, that's $1,000. There's no way. There's no way. All right. So Microsoft says it's still making a next gen console. We are actively investing in our future first party consoles and devices. As reported by Windows Central, Microsoft has stated it has no plans to exit the hardware market. So there were rumors that Xbox was not making any more consoles. With everything that's been going on, with the decline in sales for the Xbox consoles when they first dropped, it was not looking good. So there were rumors that they were just going to scrap the consoles and just start something new. But that is not the case. Microsoft has stated it has no plans to exit the hardware market. Despite poor sales of the Series X and S, there have been rumors that it would issue traditional home consoles in favor of cloud gaming and more PC-like hardware, such as the imminent Xbox ROG Allies. We are actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed and engineered and built by Xbox. This was in response to an alleged insider reporting that Xbox's hardware future was up in the air. That rumor also built on the brand's ongoing public-facing crisis and apparent de-emphasizing of its console hardware. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Xbox was to not do any consoles anymore, that would be terrible for gaming devs, because Microsoft owns a lot of different studios. There will be a lot of layoffs if that were to happen. That is not good. So I'm glad that they came out and said, yo, we're kind of still working on it, because we still need competition at the end of the day. Because if Xbox were to go, and by the way, even though I do cover this, like the of what's going on, I want everybody to win. PlayStation, Switch, Xbox. They have just kind of been BSing us with these prices. It ain't it. Like, I don't want any of these to go out of commission. I want these things to continue. I don't want this Xbox console to be like a Sega, what was it? Saturn or something, or Genesis, or I think it was a Genesis or a Saturn. Back in the early 2000s or like late 90s, they had another system that was competing, but it just did not do so well, and they had to scrap it. But I do know it was by Sega though. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, competition. Yeah, we need competition, especially with Xbox and PlayStation, because PlayStation can't be the only top dog, because they're gonna get cocky and they're gonna get greedy, which these companies kind of already are. But we can't have just one person being at the top. Like that's what made Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo so special back in the mid 2000s. or like the 2010s at the time, there was so much variety, so much competition. We don't really get that anymore because Xbox games are now on the PS on the PlayStation. And PlayStation is now, there's very limited amount of exclusives nowadays. All right. Okay, so poor sales of the series consoles, high profile studio closures, apparent diminishing returns on Game Pass, and the price hike, a general multi-platform shift, day and date PC, and even some PS5 releases. That's exactly what I just said. There's a reason to be concerned for Xbox's future. Since it's tied to the future of so many beloved game studios, Microsoft has publicly committed to a new hardware being part of that future. Both here and in its partnership announcement with AMD over the summer. But Xbox's ongoing instability and Microsoft's lack of transparency don't inspire confidence. As members of Digital Foundry discussed on a weekly podcast, Microsoft's definition of console may be shifting to a place that's not in line with the colloquial understanding. Now, when they say that they might be changing the definition of what a console is now, they might be referring to this as a console. This is going to be the new thing for Xbox now. These handhelds. Now, are they going to be Are they going to be competing with Switch now? I don't know. So Xbox is gonna have to figure something out with that. Yeah, I don't know what the case is. So I don't know what the state of Xbox is gonna be looking like. I don't know what this Xbox ROG Ally is gonna do. Is it gonna be successful? Is that $1,000 for this? That's a lot. That's a lot. You might as well just get you a Steam Deck if that's the case. What's so different about this than in the Steam Deck? But I don't know. We'll see. I don't want nobody to lose. I don't want nobody to go out of commission with certain consoles, but Xbox has been having a bad track record of what's been going on. And these companies are not listening to what the consumers want. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Are y'all still with Xbox? Are y'all Xbox fans? I had an Xbox. Me and my brothers had a Xbox 360. I didn't have an Xbox One. I don't have the recent one. I've been PlayStation ever since. I do have a Switch, but Xbox is on the wayside. Like, now that I've been having my PC, that's why I always say invest in the PC. Always get that PC because you never know what's going to happen with these consoles. Now they try to compete with the PC, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, so what is the next topic? Quantic Dream. Let me get a sip of my water break. Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream is the gaming devs behind Heavy Rain, behind Detroit Become Human, and now they are going to be dropping a game that is completely different from all other past games that they've done. Is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? They're taking a big risk. They are known for their story decision-based games, and now they are veering off into a completely new field. So let's read it. So Quantum Dream is making a Spellcasters Chronicles, a multiplayer game. That's really all you had to say. It's a multiplayer game. Okay, here's what we think so far. Quantic Dream, known for narrative first titles like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two. I did not know they made Beyond Two Souls. Both of these games are incredible. And Detroit Become Human. This game is incredible. Detroit Become Human was scary realistic. And literally the choices, I would say the game that would come close to this, the game that would be closest to Baldur's Gate would maybe be this, Detroit Become Human. Because literally every choice, they have multiple endings. And you can go either way with it. So, yeah. It's the last studio I would expect to be behind Spellcasters Chronicles. It's a mixture of surprisingly wide range of mechanics, including deck building, real-time strategy, and third-person action thrown into a free-to-play competitive multiplayer game. After a private demo, including a presentation and hands-off gameplay footage, I'm intrigued, though not entirely sold. Interesting. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, I guess they wanted to veer off and do something completely different. Spellcasters Chronicles, as you play as one of several magic users known unsurprisingly as spellcasters. Okay, like many hero-based games, including Overwatch or League of Legends, these characters form a diverse cast, pulling inspiration from magic systems and mythology from around the world. It's a great hook for the character designers. The Mystic Scribe uses a giant paintbrush as a weapon. The Swamp Witch has wooden horns. Okay, they just tell me about the what's it Alright, so let me see what this trailer's talking about.
The tapestry, where past, present, and future.
I do not have my headphones in. My headphones turned on.
The tapestry, where past, present, and future entwine. Where the gods once shaped the fate of man and empires. But the gods are gone now, and in the chaos they left behind, some of us obtained abilities no mortal was meant to hold. To break the laws of nature, command legions of beasts, bend the elements to their will, summon storms of fire and fortresses of iron, to unleash even the might of the legendary Titans.
3v3. Interesting.
This battle may save our world. Or lead it to its destruction. One thing is for certain. Our future is in your hands.
Okay. My honest opinion. This ain't it. This ain't it. Quantic Dream, what are y'all doing? This looks like a Marvel Rivals game, but with spells. I don't need that in my life. I need y'all to make another story-based, decision-based game. I don't know what made y'all want to do this. Now, who knows? This might sell. I don't know. I think we've been getting a saturation of games like this, multiplayer, 3v3, 5v5 games like this. This looks like it's free to play, which is dope, but y'all could have gave me another Heavy Rain. I would have loved that. Y'all could have gave me another Detroit Become Human. How did we go from realistic cyber robots to 3v3 multiplayer spells. I like the over the shoulder was cool, but this multiplayer, I rarely get on multiplayer as it is. I'm more of a single person dude myself, but yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it. And this is definitely not piquing my interest. Yeah. Well, let me know what y'all think. I am not excited about it. This is just another one of them games that's on Steam that's free to play for me. That I'm not looking forward to. This is the type of game that I see on Steam and I skip right past it. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I like I said, I guess they wanted to try something different. And I guess with companies now, it's like, all right, what is the biggest what's trending right now? We need to hop on this wave. Marvel Rivals has done so well. I don't know what it's looking like now at its current state, but when it was first popping, like that was Marvel Rivals was the thing. But yeah, a lot of people now are like hopping on what's the biggest wave now, what's the biggest trend, and they can't do it like the other ones do. So this is kind of just like a copy and paste. And I've seen something like this before. But yeah, like I said, that's not it. So yeah, I'm good on this. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But this personally is not for me. So, next topic that we got here. Dead Space. Now, for those of you who have followed my channel for a good minute, who follow my Twitch, I am a big fan of Dead Space. EA has done a lot of wrong, but they got Dead Space right. Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. Those were them games. Dead Space 3, it was leaning more towards the action side. It didn't have the same feel as the first two games, but we still claim it. So yeah, that is on my second channel. If y'all are interested in seeing, I played that on Twitch and I put all the episodes. I made a playlist for all the games that I play on my second channel. So I played that back in, I would say early of last year, I think. Or no, it was around at the end of the summer of last year is when I played that. But we got some news. So last week I was talking about that EA buyout. So I don't know if this can either be a good thing or a bad thing. We could possibly be having a lot of changes to a lot of different IPs and different major games. So this could either give us a opportunity to make another sequel, another Mass Effect, another Dead Space. EA has the rights to a lot of these games that I didn't know. So I knew Dead Space, but I low-key didn't even know Mass Effect. So we're gonna read this and see what they're talking about. All right, so Dead Space co-creator is making calls about Dead Space 4. Claims he could save EA $40 million. With EA in the process of being sold, the time might be right for the company to dump the franchise and someone else take a stab. Dead Space co-creator Glenn Schofield has said that he has quite a few ideas for what he wants to make next. And one of them is Dead Space 4, with EA spending $55 billion sale to an investor consortium for $55 billion. Schofield said he thinks there's an opportunity to make it happen. He told IGN, "I'm already making calls." All right, cool. I went to EA recently and they're like, "No, we're not interested anymore." He added, "I said I can get back the leadership team. I need the models from EA Motive, who built the Dead Space remake in 2023. Smart. And I can save you 30 to 40 mil. Hey, as long as you come up with a solution, As long as you come up with a game plan, a format, and you give them a reason as to how you can kind of like save money, hopefully they can eat that up. So Schofield did not return for Dead Space 2 or Dead Space 3, and he told VGC that he played just a little bit of the remake and he enjoyed it. The 2023 Dead Space 1 remake, that was me personally the standout for me. That remake, that's how you do a remake. That is how you do a remake. The dev also mentioned in the IG interview that he thinks the 2023 remake did not make money, and he feels EA may look to dump the franchise. Again, these companies are looking at, did this game sell? If this game is not selling, we're not making it. If this game is selling, if this is like the highest trending thing, we need to make more of these. And that's where kind of things get a little misconstrued. And that's where the miscommunication is at. So you could have a high selling game, but it can also be trash at the same time. So after leaving, okay. I am more optimistic since the sale of EA because somebody new could buy the Dead Space IP. He said, adding that he believes Dead Space could thrive if it were adapted into film and TV. That would also be dope. Because I also wondered, as I was playing this game, why haven't they made this into a TV show? I feel like it would be a dope, the movie, or if they had to do a film, it would be dope. But I feel like with Dead Space like world building, they need to put that into an episodic thing. So one of the ongoing theories is that EA might look to sell some of its franchises to help come up with money as it faces $20 billion of debt in the sale. The deal has not gone through yet and isn't expected until 2026. So it'll be some time before anything happens, most likely. BioWare is also said to be on the chopping block. Now BioWare is behind Mass Effect. And we don't know, Mass Effect is up in the air at this point. Now, hopefully we do get a Mass Effect 4 or 5. Andromeda, I didn't play. I also streamed Mass Effect 1 through 3. That I'm mad at myself that I did not play that earlier. That's one of the standouts. After leaving EA, Schofield joined Activision, where he worked on a series of Call of Duty games at Sledgehammer Games. He then started Striking Distance Studios. The studio released the space horror game The Callisto Protocol in 2022, and Schofield is now the director of Pinstripe Games. So Callisto Protocol did not do, now it had some top tier actors in it, but that game did not do well. That was like a watered down version of what Dead Space was. So he's coming up with some smart solutions. He's giving us reasons as to why if we do obtain the Dead Space IP, we could make it into a potential TV show. We could make it into a potential film, another sequel. This game will sell. The game will sell. And 2023 Dead Space 1 remake, that game was the standout for that year for me. I would love to see another sequel to Dead Space and what they do with it, but like I said, with this buyout, we don't know what's about to happen. We don't know what IPs are going to be staying or going. We don't know what's going to be new or not. So, but I hope that they keep Dead Space, because Dead Space is one of those franchises that it's like, y'all got so much there. That's potential. Y'all got so much potential right there. So much potential. So, y'all let me know. Do y'all want another Dead Space game? Do y'all want to just keep it where it's at, 1 through 3, and just leave it? Um, would y'all be interested in a film or like any type of other type of media outlet for Dead Space? Because um, yeah, these games, the world building on this is insane. Could you imagine if this was like an episodic Amazon original? You see how Fallout's doing, or like a Netflix original, or y'all could make it into like an anime type of thing, like how they did with Splinter Cell, Tomb Raider, um, Devil May Cry. Like that would go hard. There's many different ways that you can skin a cat, and from what I'm hearing or from what I'm reading, Schofield looking like he got some solutions to EA's debt problems. Could save some money. So we will see. All right, what is next topic? Next topic. Okay, so this is a major one that came out. This one actually came out like yesterday, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta cover this. I got to cover this." So this is yet another game that I put on my channel way back when. I love Sleeping Dogs. I know that at the time there was a lot of different reiterations of Grand Theft Auto, of sandbox games, but this one in particular stood out. I love the story. I love Wei Shang. I love the violence, the environmental takedowns, the gunplay, the fighting mechanics. Everything about this game was, but at the time, nobody was really getting it, and they had to scrap it for a sequel. So people wasn't really buying the game like that. It was like for the people who know, like if you know, you know. This was that. But now that Sleeping Dogs has gotten so like the biggest like what if, and people are now intrigued and that they want a sequel. But you got to meet the company halfway. Like I get it from a business standpoint. At the same time, it's like if people are not getting these games, then we're not gonna get it, or we're not gonna continue. So, but in recent news, Simu Liu, and correct me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Simu Liu, the actor behind Shang-Chi in the Rings. Great movie, great Marvel movie, by the way. He picked this up. I believe he bought the rights to Sleeping Dogs, and he was like, "Yo, I'm about to make this into a movie." Shout out to him. That is what we need. That is exactly what we need. So that was major news. But yesterday was another drop that he did, and this is a screenshot of his Twitter. So Simu Liu took to his Twitter account on October 18th, which was literally yesterday, to share some good news. The script draft for Sleeping Dogs has been completed. Fans rejoiced in his comments, with many of them sharing animations of their favorite scenes or fight sequences from the game. One Twitter user asked how things worked out with Square Enix, and Liu revealed that the studio has been great. Liu says that the biggest hurdle has been getting the movie studios to understand the importance of the IP, but believes the project is moving in the right direction. And I am glad that he understands that, because we've gotten so many video game adaptations to where Hollywood has not played these games, so they completely change it, the story or the character or whatever, into a completely different thing that the gamers know. We don't want that. This dude has played the game. He knows who Wei Shang is. He knows what the story is. He knows how the action is. I believe he's going to do it right. I believe he's going to do it justice. So he's trying to tell the movie studios, is like, hey, we don't have to go beat by beat with the game, but we have to we have to we can't veer off and do some crazy type of stuff where the game doesn't even correlate with the movie. So I'm glad he's becoming that bridge to where he's the middleman in between Hollywood and between what the gamers want. So, in honor of our Sleeping Dog script draft being done, here is my sleepy dog. The draft is done. Draft is done. Great. Now we gotta see who the actors are. When is this story coming out? And I had another point, but I forgot. But yeah, those two. When Lou initially announced that Sleeping Dogs would be brought to theaters, it seemed that it was still at ground level with talks of rights to the IP still on the table. So Sleeping Dogs may have already been in development by the time Lou stated his intent. Reports state that entertainment company Story Kitchen would be leading the project and that Lou himself will be playing the role of Wei Shane. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I forgot, but he is playing the main character. I love it. And he can fight. We've seen Shang-Chi. He can actually go. So we've seen what Wei Shen can do in the game. I need to see all of that. This is the perfect casting for the protagonist. So I am all for it. This is not the first go around for a Sleeping Dogs movie. In 2017, actor, filmmaker, and martial artist Donnie Yen, I did hear about this too, announced his movie adaptation of the game and intended to star as protagonist Shin. Now, unfortunately, Yen announced in early 2025 that his Sleeping Dogs movie project was officially canceled. It was just a few weeks later that Lou had announced his intent to bring the game to the big screen. Okay. Video game to movie and television adaptations have been growing over the years with shows like The Last of Us, Fallout. Other movies like Super Mario Bros. Minecraft are popular for adults and kids, while Sleeping Dogs may be an older title that some casual gaming and movie fans may not recognize. Having a Lou at the helm could bring life to this cult classic game. Bro, there's no way you can't go wrong with this. You got the late, like you said, the script is done. We just need to have it dropped. And I hope that it's going to do big numbers at the box office. Because this game was incredible. Now, I don't know if we're going to be getting a Sleeping Dogs 2. But I know for sure we're about to get a movie. So y'all let me know if y'all are big fans of Sleeping Dogs. I put the playlist on my main channel way back when. It'll be like a link somewhere when I divvy up these videos. But yeah, that game was incredible. When it comes to fighting, that game got it. It got it. And like I said, this dude, Simu, he's the perfect casting for Wei Shen. You this undercover cop with the gang, try to get intel on how to bring the gang down, but then personal things go into business, and yeah, story's there. Let's just see how this is gonna play out. But I believe that this game is gonna do good, or this movie is gonna do good. Last of Us was really good. Fallout was really good. And I believe they can continue with good video game adaptations. So, let me know. Are y'all looking for a movie? Do y'all think this is good casting? If not, y'all let me know who else could fit this role. But Donnie Yen, he would have did a good job too, but I feel like Simu he's definitely, I've seen him in action and he can definitely play the part for sure. All right, what is the next topic? I got one more. one more. So I actually wanted to save this one for last. So Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden director Tomonobu Itagaki dies at age 58. Um, the Colorful Team Ninja founder was the epitome of the rockstar Japanese game developer. This was actually a couple of days ago. This was trending on Twitter, and he died. Yeah, he died at 58, which was too early. I don't really know the causes. I think they say it was some type of illness that he had, but this dude definitely made his mark on gaming. Like Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive. Now I'm a big fighting game person. I love me some fighting games. I am more of a Tekken fan than anything. I dabbled in the Dead or Alive games back in like the early. I think the last one I played was like 3 and like 4. That was a long time ago. But them games definitely stood out with the women, with the fighting mechanics, with the environments. He definitely made Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive was one of them. That was one of those franchises back then. Like it was actually competing with the heavy hitters like Tekken and Street Fighter. It was one of them back. It was one of them games back then. And Ninja Gaiden. Man, what more can I say about that? I love me some Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is difficult, but Ninja Gaiden is that times 20. So fast paced, action is there. That game is one of the most difficult games I've ever played. I think I played like Ninja Gaiden Black. Jesus. Yo, talk about headaches. Oof, and Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out real soon, by the way. I believe it's coming out like next week. So for all my Ninja Gaiden fans, yeah, y'all gonna be eating. It's unfortunate that he had passed away right before that came out too. So Tomonobu Itagaki, the flamboyant founder of developer Team Ninja, creator of fighting game series Dead or Alive, and director of the influential 2004 action game Ninja Gaiden, has died at the age of 58. The announcement was made on Itagaki's Facebook page, entitled Last Words, apparently pre-written by the man himself. The flame of my life is finally about to go out. If this message has been posted, that means the time has come. I am no longer in this world. This final post has been entrusted to someone dear to me. Wow, that's crazy. So he kind of knew his time was coming, and he just kind of wrote a future message. Itagaki joined Tecmo in '92, and with the release of the first Dead or Alive in '96. Unafraid of controversy, he leaned into the series' lascivious representations of his female fighters. The spinoff series Dead. Yo, like I said, in the Dead or Alive series, the physics with the women were crazy, but he honed in on that even more. He didn't care. He left Tecmo and Team Ninja in 2008. In the years after his departure, he struggled to find the same level of success. He founded Valhalla Game Studios with other Team Ninja veterans. Itagaki was seldom seen in public. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But he has definitely made a mark in the world and in gaming. And I also wanted to pull up this tweet or this post from Kazuhiro Harada. So that is the game director, creator of Tekken. Now, it's hard to believe, but Itagaki-san, my senior from university and my rival as a creator, has passed away. The last message I ever received from him was, "Let's go drinking. Let's make some noise soon." To think he's gone at just 58. Yes, everyone dies eventually. That's inevitable, but isn't it a bit too soon? Didn't you say you were going to defeat me someday? Didn't you come to my wedding wearing your usual black leather jacket and sunglasses and call me your comrade in arms? Didn't you tell me to come to you whenever I was in trouble? I never even got the chance to consult you about anything. Honestly, I'm really depressed. Uh, Words, I leave behind, the flame of my life is finally about to go out. If this message has been posted, it means that, okay, so that's what he wrote. That's crazy. Yeah, that's insane. We are getting a lot of unfortunate deaths of this year. Um, but that is pretty much all that I wanted to cover for y'all. So this stream is gonna be posted, and I will chop this up into videos throughout the week, and chop them up into reels, TikToks, or whatever. So we talked about the Sucker Punch, on what their potential next game is, a potential Assassin's Creed game that we could have had, but they scrapped it because of everything that's going on in the world right now. It is a nasty, hot climate of crazy things going on. Quantic Dream. I don't know if this is kind of the beginning of their downfall, because that 3v3 multiplayer game was not it. They've had Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human, and now they are completely switching it up. I don't know if this is a business move. I don't know if they want to hop on the wave or the trend, but I don't know if this game is going to do any good. The state of Xbox. I don't know what the state of Xbox is. They just dropped this new ROG Ally, which is like 700. The newest one is like $1,000. I don't know what the numbers for the sales are going to be for this game is, but that is a lot of money, and they have not been doing great with these prices. A potential Dead Space game. We might not be getting a Dead Space 4. With this buyout, who knows what we could be getting or could be leaving. And then Simu Liu, he just finished the draft script for Sleeping Dogs. I'm a Sleeping Dogs fan. I played that game like 3 times, and to see it in a movie, I need that. And then, unfortunately, the passing of Tomonobu Itagaki, who was the creator behind the Dead or Alive series and Ninja Gaiden. So, for all my Ninja Gaiden fans, all my Team Ninja fans, y'all will be eating good when that game drops. I think next week. So be out on the lookout for that. I would get it. And now if it's on yeah, I think it's on Steam, but we gotta finish what we're playing first. I can't hop on different games all at the same time. Like I said earlier in the stream, we are still playing Ghost of Yote. We are more than halfway done with this game. I'm still debating whether or not I wanna platinum that game. Because I put in about 40 something hours easy. What else? Dispatch is coming up and on Wednesday, I believe. Let me see the date actually. Yes, it is coming on Wednesday. So I will be streaming that. That is like an episodic game, like a Telltale type. So I think 2 episodes like every week. So I need that too. So we're gonna be playing that. I don't know if it's gonna be on Wednesday, but it will be next weekend for sure if I don't get to it on the weekday. But that is pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all. And I will see y'all on the next one. I hope y'all have a good or a great remaining weekend. Hope y'all's upcoming week is good to y'all. And again, I will see y'all on the next one. Whatever news pops up, I'll be covering it. So I'll see y'all later. Deuces.